with him. So I'm going to go up and go live here, and we're going to pick up where we left off at. Let me see here. There you go. All right, you're back, good brother. And those are coming back in this session 4 is the fact that we're talking about the fact is that you're made in the image of God. You are the apple of his eye. Anything else you got, bro? What are we? Anything else you want to say? What are we to God?
We are his children.
you,
I mean, we are connected to him, spirit to spirit.
Yes, sir.
So we are a part of him. He's a part of us.
Yes, sir. And he's mindful of us, isn't he? He's mindful of you as an individual. Just like you're mindful of your children, God is mindful of us because we're made in his image. We're made in his likeness, and we're born to be blessed. So with that in mind, since we're made in the image of God, notice what he said. I don't know if as you notice the 10 Commandments, did you ever checked out one? I never even thought about this piece right here before. We made in the image of him, right? In his likeness, right? Well, go ahead and read that for us, sir. It's like 2 slides.
And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Yeah,
thou hast no other gods before me.
No.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
or
any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Now, what was it?
That is a pardon.
Notice said, let us make man in what? Us. Let us make man in what?
In our image.
In our likeness.
In our likeness.
Now look what he told them not to do.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above. It's already been done. God's done it, and that's that. He made us.
He did. He did.
It says, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Which brings up a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. And on top of that,
I mean, we have images of angels, we have images of Christ, called Christ, images of God, images of heaven. And this right here, God said, no graven image.
None.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
No.
Anything.
Look, verse 5 is really what he's trying to say. Why I don't want you to do it, because I want you to do verse 5.
Yeah. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
No.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
Yes, sir.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments.
Oh, and let me go. Sorry. Go ahead. That's let me say it'll move. There you go. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day.
Yeah. Hey, look, before you go any further, that goes back to the Lord's Prayer again. Thine kingdom, that what he said. For thine, what is it? Thine the king, for thou. Is his name in there? He said, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. Right? And he's saying that don't take my name in vain. So once again, one of the components of the Lord's Prayer is to say, oh, don't put my name in vain. Glorify my name. I just want to throw that in there. That's a little nugget. Okay, go ahead, sir.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. The 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
Yes, sir.
In it thou shalt not do any work,
Mhm.
Thou, nor thy sons, nor thy daughters, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle,
What?
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
So we went by this literally, everything shuts down.
Yep. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
And even that was a struggle. I remember your testimony was a struggle sometime when that,
Yeah,
in some portion, and that's just the enemy trying to do that dividing,
yeah.
So
Thou
man,
shalt not kill.
oh,
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
oh,
Thou shalt not steal.
oh,
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Let me go
oh,
back up to thou shalt not commit adultery.
uh-huh.
Worshiping anything other than God
Is a spiritual adultery.
is adultery.
Yeah.
Not worshiping God. That's not honoring God. That's not hallowing his name.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Mm.
You can just turn on the TV and listen to these political messages.
Boy, they can lie.
And they just straight lie. I mean, not even half truths. They're
No,
not even quarter truths.
no.
They just take words and just put them together with stuff and images to say whatever they want.
But what I saw recently, President Biden put in there was, like the infrastructure bill and other bills, and he said some of those guys who didn't vote for it go around.
Yeah, they're taking credit for
it, and not even blinking.
it. Yeah.
Man, we got to the bipartisan bill. Ted Cruz, he was the main one.
Yeah.
And the lady said, and she wasn't talking to him because she go back to the court, and she said, why didn't you vote for it? And then she was showing all the people who didn't vote for it, but yet they're gonna. It's like it's an evil. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
It's like and I mean, it's almost like you can admire it, but don't be sitting there being all mad and evil because you want their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or their wife or husband.
Oh, now look at that. There's another one right there. It's like, he put them all together on that one, didn't he?
Nor his manservant, nor maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Don't take my lawnmower. Don't take my.
Don't covet my grass.
They do it, don't they? Some people do it. And then I said, I'm talking about when you talk about, once again, I think from racism and stuff, it's all about envying and trying to keep somebody else down and get mad. Obama got president. Oh, look at all the evil that came out of it,
I mean, they swear up and down that we as a people are lacking in every way.
Yeah.
But yet they prevent us and they put all the roadblocks to allow us to achieve, but yet we can't. They say we can't achieve.
Exactly.
We can't do anything.
We can't fly like
and yet they got to put roadblocks and stumbling blocks and laws and everything to keep us down.
Right. People were taught to hate, and he's like, you're doing the opposite of what God told you to do.
Yeah.
And I think where the biggest problem came in this right here, if you look at this, the following scriptures there, is the fact that look what they did. They made a decision. Guys, as we talking, and some of you on this segment, you probably know where I'm coming from, but back to that Lord's Prayer again, right? The fact of being God is king, right? And he wants a relationship. He wants to be king in your life.
Yeah.
Right? Not put a designator or somebody else as in between you. But you know, even if you look at the scripture here, you get ready to read, this is what man did, even like they did in the garden. Remember when God walked in the cool of the day, what did they do? They ran, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They ran. Look what they did on this one. Check it out for us.
Listen, all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die.
See?
And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God is come to prove you,
Yeah.
and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood far off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was.
And once again, to me, that just reminds me how the fact is that we want to, we separate and make other people the intermediator between God and man, opposed to Christ being the only intermediator, and not have that personal relationship. Because Moses drew near, they'd move away.
Yeah.
In reality, he wanted all of them to come together. And I think that's one of the things that we need to watch out for. But the other thing, he said, thou shalt not kill, right? And we talk about don't murder, basically don't murder, which it goes back to that scripture you had earlier, you know? And all this stuff is wrapped up in the CIT, which is right here. What do you got here?
And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?
And that's the subject, isn't it? We ain't gonna read the whole Good Samaritan.
First of all, there was nothing he could have done
that's the whole point.
to inherit eternal life.
Because he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make all the points. Right.
Well, he's not Christ. He can't fulfill all of the laws. He has not lived a sinless life.
No, I know it, and that's the problem, isn't it? But people think they did, right?
Yeah.
And then they try to justify themselves. So this joker, look what he did.
He said unto him, what is written in the laws? How readest thou? And he answered and said, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
All that's wrapped up in the
Man, and that's exactly what Christ said when he said, a new commandment.
Yes, sir.
That I give you. Those very same words.
The same words, brother. And that's what he's trying to tell us, man. Our fellow man, don't let people stray you. And what people have done as far as hate and division and racism and all that stuff, and don't recognize that these people, all of us, are made in his image.
Yeah.
You know? And he even said, do that. He said, thou answered right, do this and you should live. And then you know that rest of that story, the guy tried to justify himself, didn't he?
Yeah,
well, who is my neighbor?
His life, the way it was more important than the way it will be for eternity.
Exactly. That's what he said. But and see, the whole subject of that question was eternal life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why it's so important being a Christian. And like I said, you wrap up with this. This is our last one, and then we'll close out, good brother. Because you just said new commandment. I'll just make sure I had it in there for you.
That's the gospel.
That's the gospel. There's the gospel. You know?
Yeah.
And he's telling us, you know, therefore, when he was going out, Jesus said, now is the Son of Man glorified in God. Back to the Lord's Prayer again. Thy kingdom, for thine is the kingdom. What? In the glory.
Yeah.
In the power.
Forever.
Christ will always glorify God.
Yeah.
He always is. You know? And if God be glorified in him, God shall also glorify him in himself and shall straightway glorify him. little children, yet a little while I'm with you. Ye shall seek me, and as I said unto the Jews, whether I go, you cannot come. So now I say unto you, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this, see, there's that thing, is right? By this, because tree is nobody's fruit.
Yeah.
By this shall what all men know that you're my disciple, if you do this one thing, to love one another. Because we're all made in his image and in his likeness, and we've all been born to be blessed. And Christ came to restore that which was delivered to the enemy. So we were born to be blessed. And for those people who don't see why we think the gospel is so important to us, is because what it says about us.
Mm.
You know what I mean? To be able to get along with one another, love one another, not envious. Look, at covenants, that's all that is. Black Wall Street, why was it burned down? Why did it take one incident to burn down a whole city that was thriving? Why we had to attack the Capitol January the 6th? I mean, to me, it's almost like everything that happened from Obama was all built up in those people. And they were happy when they got a replacement for, he replaced Obama. Think about it, right? He came after Obama, didn't he? And it's almost like this is the image we want, opposed to the color of the skin that we saw for 8 years. And look what the man is doing now. What do you think about that anyway? What do you think about the paperwork, the court cases and everything?
It's
it's,
knowing the fruit of that man,
exactly.
he was going to use that to buy passage to, in my mind, to another country. I'm gonna give you these top secret things so you can allow me to find refuge in your country, because I can no longer exist in the US a free man.
Wow. And
that's just me. That's just what comes to my mind. Because I mean, why else do you have those documents in your possession and not turn them over when they're first asked, like, oh yeah, well, here they go. I didn't mean to take these. No, we went months with court orders to turn them over, and they did it. And then they go and get them, and then it's, oh, they invaded.
They raided. Yep. Yeah.
So, it's just so much deception and so much deceitfulness.
Yeah.
And this, tied to this man, he's really, really fulfilling a lot of what this word has to say about these times.
Yeah. And that is so true. I mean, I don't know if you caught that one time, they even built a golden statue of the man.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you see that I don't see? You know what I mean? It's like
they see themselves. They see something that they desire to be, and that is someone, by any means necessary, is going to take what he wants, say whatever he needs to say to get it, and do whatever he needs to do to get it, and get away with it.
Right.
That's the way it was in the past.
Yeah.
And that's the way they want it now. They want to be able to commit atrocities with immunity.
Yeah. even thing I thought about is that even if you even equate that at a higher level than that, what Putin was doing.
Yeah.
Out of the
Putin
fear,
is
right?
doing.
The fear of this country joining NATO.
Yeah.
That I can't take it. It's like, what are you that much afraid of?
Yeah. I mean, this dude was really trying to isolate us and put us into the same atmosphere
Yeah,
as a dictatorship country.
yeah,
You know, isolated, self-contained, ruled by an individual whose only goal is to enrich himself and his family.
with no shame to it at all.
In open.
Yeah. It goes back to the fact that I was looking at, you know, I said tree is nobody's fruit. When I look at and somebody did it actually on TikTok, they looked at the 6 things that God hate, right? Yeah, it's 7 abominations to them. It's that pride.
Yeah.
I don't need to ask for forgiveness because I don't think I need to ask for it, right?
Yeah, there's nobody above me.
There's nobody before. I can think, I don't know if you caught that one article they did last week. It said about the classified documents, I declassified them. You need to go through the whole process.
No, I can think it.
I can take it. You like that's a
Really? I could do, and it's declassified. I mean, the things this man said, and then the fact that there are folks that believe it and accept every word that comes out of this man's mouth like it's gospel.
I know it. I even had one of my old former co-workers sit there and said, "Oh, those are just blank folders." So how did you make that conclusion?
Yeah, who told you that?
The man even said it was his because he know he's caught in a lie. Because you know when that judge came up and the judge said, I'm gonna go, I think he used a legal term, prima facie value.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just gonna base face value that these documents are classified because they're marked classified.
Yeah.
And the judge that's sitting on the bench said, I don't know if they're classified or not. You're like, well, that master corrected her.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the problem. The judge that said it in the first place was appointed by Trump.
She knows better though. She knows better.
No. But that's the only reason that those words could have been uttered from somebody who's supposed to be interpreting the law.
Right.
And so if you got, it's like, okay, we're gonna put some of my old love letters in these top secret folders and then just store them in my house. Knowing the man can't even read or write anyway. Well, let me take that. I'm sorry for that. That was me being whipped.
Yeah,
but the fact that
he doesn't read a lot.
that judge that did that was ridiculous.
Yes.
It was ridiculous. And you can see how our nation is so corrupt that it tries to support the corruptees and give them an out.
Yeah.
You know, that as long as it seems like they're not being favorable. And at this point, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter that these people are really giving a bad look to their name and their profession, trying to uphold somebody who doesn't care.
It's almost like you're investing. How are you going to keep investing in something that's going in the wrong direction?
Well, and especially investing in somebody that don't care about them, unless you're doing something for him. Exactly. And if you don't, then he just throws you under the bus. And it's like you say, a tree is known by its fruit, and that's all he does. Yeah. You either agree with him or he's going to put you asunder.
And I'll think about how many staffers were abused. They said this man would even flip over tables or pull the tablecloth
Yeah.
and be yelling at you, cursing
Well,
at.
you know, this is this. Are we still live?
Hey, we're gonna go. Matter of fact, we finished, y'all. God bless you. I'm sorry we took off on this. Well, I will keep it, but bottom line is we talk about a tree is known by its fruit. And that's the whole point behind this. A tree is known by its fruit. And the fact is that your life matters. All lives matter because you're the apple of his eye. All lives matter because we're made in the image of God and in his likeness. And we, because he's our creator, not people, no man can devalue anybody else. And then when we're talking, closing up, we're talking about the political divide and the images and the fruits that are coming out of what's going on in the day. Not only with the former president, but also with Russia. With, and then potentially China may do it. I hope they don't, because I think they're looking at this. I think, do you think? Because they denounce now what he's doing, China and India, because they know this is not what you call fruitful or profitable to go that route. So yes, God bless y'all. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you, if the Lord's willing. We'll see you next week, or you can come check them out in the morning. I get up early in the morning, bro. God bless.
Yeah.